Congressman Michael Waltz going to be calling in here in a minute. He's been doing some good stuff lately. In fact, here he is right now. Hi, Congressman. How you doing? It's Congressman Michael Waltz, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Ken? Great to be with you, brother.
Good. Good to have you back. So what's going on? I mean, just other than the massive insanity going on that you're having to deal with, you are doing something that I think is really cool regarding Green Beret or Alwyn Cashe, giving him the Congressional Medal of Honor for what he...
Yeah, so... No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's so Sergeant First Class Alwyn Cashe, sadly, unfortunately, died, was killed in action in 2005 in Iraq. His armored vehicle was hit by an IED, exploded in flames. Sergeant Cashe was actually, Sergeant Cashe was thrown from the vehicle, but was covered in fuel and oil all over his uniform, and he selflessly ran back into the burning vehicle to pull his men out, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and kept going back into those flames, covered in flames, pulling out his men until, sadly, he died. He was awarded the Silver Star for his heroism, but if there's anything that deserves a Medal of Honor in my time in combat as a Green Beret that I've seen, it's this. And myself and other congressmen and women have written the Secretary of Defense, and the long story short, he has agreed to recommend to the President that his medal get upgraded to the Medal of Honor, and he's from Central Florida, and I'm just thrilled to get that news.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, and again, thank you and Representative Dan Crenshaw for going to bat for that, because when you read the story of what Cashe did, I mean, again, covered in oil, covered in gas, his rig's on fire, the people are in it, he knows he's going to flame up, but he does it anyway. And it's just awesome courage, awesome.
3 times repeatedly went back and forth until literally and you know what? When they carried him into the military hospital with his uniform literally burned to his skin, he said, "Don't take care of me, just take care of my men." Those are the kind of Americans that we need to be celebrating day in and day out.
Indeed.
And if he's awarded the Medal of Honor, he'll be the first African American, the first black man to receive the Medal of Honor in the post 9/11 wars. Which is also really significant. That's significant, but I have to say, you know what? In the foxhole, nobody cares about race, religion, socioeconomic background. It's about mission, and it's about country. And I really hope to see President Trump put that medal, give that medal to his family, and notably his son has joined the Army following his dad's footsteps.
God bless. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what else is going on? How's Alan Grayson doing?
Alan Grayson's running against me this cycle. It's amazing. I think he was AOC before AOC was cool.
Indeed.
Was breaking ice for the left. And, I just put an op-ed out in the Washington Examiner talking about, this presidential election isn't just about Biden and President Trump.
No.
It lays out the steps the left will lay out and their strategy to take power and keep power and change the rules so that we won't be able to take it back. First will be Schumer getting rid of the filibuster so that they can pass things with a simple majority in the Senate. Because if Biden wins the presidency, we've probably lost the Senate too. And then Pelosi will put in place national ballot harvesting, what they do in California, where activists can go scoop up unlimited numbers of ballots.
Kind of like what they're going to do.
Election day.
Kind of like what they're going to do this year.
Yeah, but she'll take that nationwide and put it into law, and then the progressives will say, Speaker Pelosi, if you want to be Speaker again, because she's voted in by all of the Democrats, if you want to be Speaker again, here's our agenda that you will sail through the Senate and put on Biden's desk. And I just think a lot of people laugh off AOC. They laugh at Crazy Bernie. I see up front and close in the House, This stuff is written into law. The squad just entered, or is written and ready to go into law. They just entered a bill that would abolish the ICE, it would abolish the Border Patrol, and it would abolish the entire federal prison system. So this stuff is serious, and conservatives need to wake up and get out to vote.
And get out to vote at the polls on Election Day. When the mask is off these people, they pretty much, there's been several stories in the past week, them pretty much telling us exactly how they're going to do it through mail-in ballots. That it's going to appear that Trump wins on Election Day, but oh no, wait, it's going to be like the Al Franken on a national level, the Al Franken election. Well, no, wait, we got a whole bunch more boxes we found over here. Oh, look at this one. Sorry, we're late. And then all of a sudden, it's a Biden win.
Well, that's right. That's what Pelosi will take nationwide, and that's what we call ballot harvesting. I do want to say, Ken, that if you're a Republican, if you're a senior and you've already received your ballot, go ahead and send it in Florida. Florida does it right. What the president's talking about is Nevada, New Jersey, New York, where they're just blasting ballots around like junk mail.
Yes.
But I am confident in how Florida does it. And what I don't want are seniors that are scared to go to the polls because the media is petrifying everybody about Corona, and they also don't send in the ballot, and we lose turnout that the president should get. So that's a distinction that Florida has. They verify the signatures, they do it right. I'm confident, except Broward County, I should say, in South Florida, but the rest of our counties do it right and send those ballots in.
Yeah, I still think people should feel safe if they're able-bodied.
I would prefer in person.
Yeah,
I would prefer in person, but I'm a little nervous that some of the seniors don't go in person, and we don't have the turnout that we need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more
you
confident
can
in
drop
Florida
it off.
than I am in a lot of these other states.
Or you can do what a lot of people do. You can drop off your mail-in, your absentee ballot at the election supervisor's office downtown Punta Gorda. So
that's right.
You can go ahead and do that here.
That is absolutely right, and that's a great point. But the point is, let's get those votes in.
Indeed.
We cannot let the left take over this country. This is not a country I fought for all over the world. And here, the final thing is, they don't seek to improve America. They seek to tear it down to the studs and rebuild it. That's why they're talking about stacking the Supreme Court, getting rid of the Electoral College. Council in Washington, D.C. just recommended to the mayor to relook at the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and anybody else who they deem as unworthy because of past actions. So this is about a complete and total rebuild of America in a socialist model. Mm-hmm. Let's not even start talking about then a world led by Chinese communists. That's not something I want my children and grandchildren growing up in, and not a country I fought for.
Indeed. And what does it say? I'd like to get your reaction to, there's been a lot of businesses. And Florida, Governor DeSantis, like I've said, has done a very good job of handling the Rona, but at the same time, there has been some businesses that have been oppressed and tyrannized merely for who they are. And California's got it a lot worse, particularly hair salons, and Nancy Pelosi decides that she's better than everyone else and she can go to a hair salon. So, and the owner of the hair salon, who just rents out the chairs, she was beside herself.
I had no idea. Yeah.
Well, that's insane.
Look, she's been building that business for 12 years and is now hanging on by her fingernails because of mandatory shutdowns when she could open up safely like so many other places are doing. But yet that doesn't matter to Nancy Pelosi. We saw it with the Chicago mayor, Lightfoot, who did the same thing, went and got a haircut when nobody else could, and then defended it, saying, well, I'm a public figure and they're not.
Yeah, well,
right?
I saw the results of the haircut,
do
too.
As I say, not as I do.
That's true.
We learn in the military to lead by example, and you can tell when people haven't learned that basic leadership trait.
Oh, man. It is. It's hypocritical and it's sad. And what is it also? How do you feel about the fact that the CDC finally comes clean and that 94% of the people who got the Rona already had comorbidities, and really there was only just about 9,000 people that died of actual coronavirus. We have schools being affected. The kids aren't even really the issue regarding the Rona. We've been lied to. We continue to be lied to. Why can't we just open things up? And what's your response to that?
Well, this is also the CDC that completely botched the testing in the beginning because they refused to go to the private sector, and as the South Koreans did, the Taiwanese and other, and let them run with it. They decided, no, government knows best, and government's going to develop a test. Well, guess what? The government test was flawed, and we lost months. But, of course, we want to blame that all on Trump. And these are the quote-unquote, government bureaucrat experts. Look, if you're under 25, the statistics are showing in Florida, you have a 99.96% chance of being just fine. You may get a little bit sick, but you're not going to the hospital and you're certainly not dying. We have to open our schools. Most of the counties in my district, all of the counties actually are giving parents choice, which I think is totally appropriate. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to look back and see these statistics were completely flawed and highly politicized. Right? I mean, 94% have some other form of death, according to the CDC. And we're going to find that this was 180,000 deaths are horrific, but we have all kinds of things that drive the death rate in this country. And we've had real downsides, real consequences, and real people hurt by these lockdowns. And I think Governor DeSantis is right. We're not going to go back to lockdowns again. It just hurts too many people.
It is. I mean, to err on the side of oppression and tyranny instead of the side of freedom and the Constitution, that's the one thing that I found sad in a lot of these states, like New York, California, my home state of Washington. It's just been horrible, and I think we need to get back to 100%. But do you think that this, to a certain degree, has been by design because Orange Man bad?
Well, I think, right. So anything that comes out of the president's mouth, and I see this every day in the House of Representatives, positions, I know Democrats that supported the Space Force, and then the president got behind it, suddenly they're against it. Democrats that have fought against, a strong policy and fought with us, strong policy against Iran. The president orders the killing of their top general, Soleimani. Suddenly it's a bad thing. I mean, I could go on down the list.
Hydroxychloroquine?
Derangement syndrome. and I think it absolutely applies to Corona.
Yeah.
They just can't stand the man so much. And that's my message to Republicans that are out there that don't like his personality or his tweets. Look at the policies that the left will put in place. The progressives will run Pelosi, and she will slam these bills onto Biden's desk to be signed into law, and that is horrible for America's future.
And don't worry, because Mrs. Biden already knows how to write Joe's signature, so Joe can still be in the basement, and this stuff is going to get passed. And also to me, the biggest red flag was as soon as President Trump mentioned hydroxychloroquine, the FDA even goes out of its way to ban it. We have pharmacies who won't fulfill prescriptions from doctors prescribing hydroxychloroquine. And we also know via worldwide data and our own empirical data here in the U.S. that it works. Yet it would seem that the FDA, the media, and many on the left, Twitter and Facebook, would rather see people die than get treatment with something that we know that works.
Yeah, no, look, I think physicians should have the full menu of options. That's between the individual responsibility and liberty and that physician. But look, this is the California mentality. And you're going to have Kamala Harris, California senator, the most liberal senator by her voting record, left of Bernie even, in the vice president's seat. And then you'll have Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco congresswoman. So if you want America to look like California, don't get out, conservatives and Republicans out there, don't get out and vote. If you want America to stay the country that we know it to be, we have to turn out and we have to get mobilized. We have to wake up, because I just come across too many Republicans that are kind of shrugging their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be that bad. Biden's a nice guy. Well, I don't want a nice guy. When we're dealing with China, Russia, terrorism, North Korea, Iran, I want a tough guy, and I want somebody who's going to get results, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Indeed it is.
It's just a no-brainer.
It is. And speaking of brains, we had Don Jr. reminding us yesterday in an interview, I think he was with Hannity, that Biden's already had 2 brain aneurysms. And on top of that,
well, look, I think
we see him failing every day.
Anyone who has... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying we see his health failing every day. You got a guy with 2 brain aneurysms. He's way older than Trump, and he looks like he's beginning to fail here. So how can you vote for that? I just don't get that.
Well, look, I think anybody who's dealt with a family member, sadly, that is, starting to slip a little bit mentally sees the signs there. And the disturbing thing is he's under no stress right now. He's comfortable. He's in his home. He's rested. He certainly isn't taking any tough questions from the media. No. He's not taking any question from the media. And look, that job in the White House, I've seen it up close. I worked in the White House in the Bush administration, and of course, I'm dealing with the president now, is the toughest in the world. And I don't think anybody can question Donald Trump's energy. He is foot on the gas, doesn't sleep, getting everything he can done. And just look at the list of accomplishments that politicians have been trying to get done for decades, from justice reform to veterans reform to rebuilding our military after 8 years of cuts under Obama and Biden, and on tax reform that has been done since the 80s on down the list, a whole new branch of the military in the Space Force. His energy is incredible, and we have to get him another 4 years. A Biden presidency will set a domino effect to give the Democrats the ability to lock down power that we won't be able to come back again. And that was the message of my op-ed and what I'm trying to get out there.
I agree wholeheartedly with it. Biden equals Venezuela as far as I'm concerned. But with that, we're out of time. Congressman Waltz, we know what's your website so people can log on and donate, so we make sure that your position is secured in November.
Well, thank you, and it's Michael Waltz, WALTZ.com. Look, resources are like ammo on the battlefield. Alan Grayson can throw out all of the nonsense he wants. Now that he's going to come after my seat. And I don't like fair firefights. I want more ammo than the other guy.
Indeed.
So I appreciate any resources people can give.
All right, Congressman Waltz, again, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate everything you're doing, and definitely appreciate your service. Thank you again. Hope to have you back soon.
All right. Thanks so much again. Talk to you soon.